The internet has been going crazy about the red heifers that was shipped into Israel. Okay, but this evangelist believes that many people are missing one very important thing that might happen after this solar eclipse. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and check out this video real quick. But before we do me a favor real quick. Hit that like button so YouTube can push this out to more people like you with the algorithm, okay? It helps out tremendously. I appreciate you guys. Let's go ahead and check out this video right now. Okay, so this guy's name right here is Perry Stone. I've never heard about him personally, but my brother sent me this video and he said that it was worth watching, okay? He's gonna talk about some things that are gonna happen with the solar eclipse that's about to take place here in a couple of days and what this could possibly mean to people in America if this thing happens that he's going to describe. Okay, let me just say this right out front. I am not saying that any of this is going to happen or that it's a prophecy. I am just saying this is what he put out there, and we are going to listen to it and determine if this is something that could potentially happen, okay? So let's go ahead and check out this video.
Day of the Lord, the great and terrible day of the Lord is the tribulation. We're not in the tribulation, but we're headed there. So these cosmic signs will happen before the great tribulation, but there'll be a sign that the tribulation is coming in the future. Blood moons, as they are called, are lunar eclipses. Several years ago, you'll remember that there was a blood moon at Passover and Tabernacles, and the next year, another series of blood moons at Passover and Tabernacles. Now, the reason blood moons or lunar eclipses are significant prophetically, they're not normally unless they fall on Jewish festival days. Throughout history, when certain events happen.
Okay, so he's talking about lunar eclipses right now, and he said they happen, but they're not normal if they fall on Jewish festival days. So when they fall on Jewish festival days, that's when they're abnormal. That's when something may happen. That's when a prophecy may be revealed. Let's continue watching.
And on Jewish festival days, it was a sign of something that was coming. Josephus, the Jewish historian, tells you that at Passover, in the time of the unleavened bread, the week of unleavened bread, there was weird activity happening at the temple that was supernatural, and the destruction came 4 years later. We find that the Halley's Comet was the comet Josephus alluded to. He didn't call it that then. It wasn't named till the astronomers discovered it many years later, centuries later. But they find out that 66 AD, when the comet came through, it was what we today call Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet seems to come through 4 years prior to a war breaking out somewhere in the world.
Okay, so he said every time that there's a Halley's Comet, within the next 4 years, there's a war that takes place, okay? And so I just wanted to look that up because I see this right here, and this is actually making sense so far. So it says that the last Halley's Comet that so I did 1910's Halley's Comet, and I did 1986, and so 1910's Halley's Comet, it happened in 1910. It says it happens on average every 76 years. 4 years after that was the war. World War I started in 1914. So that's 4 years after the comet. So let's look at the next Halley's Comet that took place, which was, I believe, 1986. Okay, so August 2nd, 1990, the Gulf War took place. That's 4 years after the Halley's Comet of 1986. So there is some truth to what he's saying about that. I'm not sure how far back it goes, but the last two comets that we've had, there's been a war 4 years after. That's true so far. I'm not saying this prophecy is going to take place, but I'm just saying the facts behind it is true. Let's see what else he's talking about.
And many times a solar eclipse, if it is prophetic, is a sign of something big that's going to happen in that nation. Now, the reason everybody's talking, and I'm going to abbreviate this because there's enough information out there for you to research in detail by these other people, is that this eclipse has a crossing pattern to it. And there's a place connected with Egypt. There are places that have names that are connected to ancient names in biblical history. And the big thing that everybody's talking about is it crosses over the New Madrid fault line.
Okay, so he said that this eclipse has a crossing pattern to it. So I'm guessing he's talking about from the last eclipse to the one that's going to happen. It has a crossing pattern, and that crossing pattern falls on the New Madrid fault line, okay? So what he's saying is that if that's the case, then there's going to be some potential disaster regarding the fault line because of the pattern in which it landed. Let's keep watching and see where he's going with this.
Now, John Kilpatrick, a great man of God, and several other men for years have had dreams or visions of the New Madrid fault line giving way. Now, you can study the New Madrid fault line and you can see the great danger to areas like St. Louis, Memphis, Tennessee. In fact, if it actually went off with a very, very high Richter scale earthquake, and it would have to be a 7.5, 8.5, but if that happened, the danger to the United States would be that the railroad bridges connecting part of the West with the East Coast are cut off. The bridges for trucks to deliver food are cut off. And, you know, of course, your major airports, the runways would so there would be a complete shutting off, a split between the central and western part of the United States and the East Coast of the United States. And the food supply would be diminished within probably, I would say within a few hours, because everybody would panic in trying to get food in the stores. Now, I have in my book.
Okay, so what he's saying is that if there was going to be some kind of disaster like an earthquake or something that happened with the New Madrid fault line, is going to take place in this area. He's saying that it's crossing in this area. It crosses past the New Madrid fault line. And I mean, it's connected to a lot of different states. So if there was going to be something like an earthquake that's going to happen, it definitely would affect a lot of Americans. And just the fact that it lands in the middle of all of these states right here, that could potentially cause like a big like stoppage in production and transportation and different things like that. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. I'm just saying if something was to happen, that would be considered catastrophic. It would be a huge thing to happen because of how many people that it affects. And I'm not saying these two things right here are going to correlate. I'm just putting it out there. Just a couple of days ago, there was a catastrophic earthquake that took place in Taiwan. It had a magnitude of 7.4. It's the strongest earthquake that they've seen in 25 years, okay? And it terminated the lives of at least 9 people. It was just catastrophic. I mean, look at this building right here.
Quake hit during the morning commute, and look at this. There's dash camera video just capturing traffic coming to a standstill as it all happens, and the highway very clearly beginning to shake. And then there's also this. One man, he was in a rooftop swimming pool when it all started, and you can see the massive waves that were caused by the tremors.
Crazy.
We're also getting a look of how it unfolded inside one television studio. Watch this.
Oh, 天哪! Oh, God!
So scary. So scary, no matter what the angle is that we're showing you here from all of this video.
If there was going to be an earthquake, like he said, it would have to have the magnitude of a 7.5 to an 8.5 to be catastrophic. And he said with that last one that was 7.4 in Taiwan, we can see what it did. We can see the destruction that it caused. So it's definitely something that to think about. I'm not putting a number on it saying that it's going to happen, but it's definitely something worth thinking about for sure. I'll just say this real quick. Even with the red heifer prophecy and with this prophecy that's coming with the solar eclipse and all that, none of it truly means that like Jesus is going to come back soon. Like as far as like he's going to be coming back on the day of the solar eclipse or after it, like short time after. No one knows the time, the return of Jesus Christ. Not even Jesus Christ. The Father's the only one that knows. So anytime somebody's putting like a timestamp on Jesus returning, that's a good sign that it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But with that being said, God did say he's going to give us signs and wonders, and there's going to be rumors of wars, and there's going to be earthquakes, and there's going to be just different natural disasters happening. And those are signs, and those are wonders, and those are things that tell you that Jesus is coming soon. He's coming soon. So I believe that if this happens, like if this earthquake happens, which I'm not saying it is, if it happens, or if a war comes out in the next 4 years after the next Halley's Comet in 2050 something, that will be just another sign saying that Jesus is coming soon. Okay. But ultimately, the goal is to just be prepared. Okay. Be prepared for the coming of Christ. And that means fixing your heart posture, fixing your mind, and getting yourself ready at any moment. Okay. But I've seen a lot of people posting about prophecies and saying that this is going to take place and that this is going to be the end times or this is going to be the rapture coming up. And it's just really a lot of propaganda. Okay. And honestly, I made a video before I made this one. And the first video I made sounded too much like the propaganda that's out there. So I didn't want to post it. And so I'm making this new video just showing you guys what Perry Stone has said. Again, I don't know his credibility, but it's definitely something that we need to think about. And it's just something that you should maybe prepare for, okay? Just in case. All right, but either way it goes, we're going to see what's going to happen after this solar eclipse shortly after, or even a year or two after. We're going to find out what's going to take place. But regardless, we have to make sure that we are living the word, okay? We're being doers of the word, and we are doing our due diligence, and that's preaching the gospel and living a godly life, okay? Anyways, look, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section, okay? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, I encourage you, hit the subscribe button and hit the post notification bell so you do not miss another video, okay? My name is Aaron Page. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Until next time, I'm out.